This project is trying to establish the contextual factors around breaking up prolonged sitting time and whether or not we can effectively identify the factors which influence if a nudge is successful or isn't successful, and using that information build it into future interventions that will therefore be more effective.
We live in a world where being physically active is greatly compromised by busy lives, technological change, the way that cities are developing. We have evidence that if you spend your life mostly sitting, that is a unique health risk, and even if you do lots of fitness training and exercise and go to the gym, if you're sitting for 12 hours a day, your health risk is greatly increased. People are sitting more, and we need to find practical ways to make a difference to that, and technology could be a very important element of making a difference.
We worked with the Vodafone Foundation in Australia for nearly a 2-year period to really start to look at software or platforms, apps to be integrated in smartphone technology that can allow people to self-monitor the amount of sitting that they're doing throughout the day, and importantly provide prompts to break up those long periods of sitting.
The question is now, does it work in the real world setting, and how do we actually get people to break up their sitting? It's just the tricky part of all these things is behaviour change at the end of the day. So are there ways and tools that this can be promoted that will actually be feasible and effective?
Initially we're trying to target the workplace setting. We've seen before that trying to really push for people to get active time into work day is really difficult. So therefore, if we can get health benefits from breaking up their sitting time, that might be a more feasible way to go forward. And by doing that, having prompts and using various behaviour change techniques within this app might be a feasible way to actually do that in the workplace.
The Rise and Recharge app measures over a 30-minute period, each 30 minutes across the day, whether a person's taken 15 steps. That means that they've actually got off their backside and made some movements to break up that sitting time. So it's really a self-monitoring tool of the amount of time people are spending in prolonged sitting, and in contrast, the amount of time that they're breaking up their sitting time.
We're going to use that app with different timed interventions. Some will get it every 30 minutes, some will get it every 60 minutes, and then sometimes they will get a nudge to move and sometimes they won't. And by having those 4 different conditions per person, we hope to start to be able to tease out when they did it, why they did it, if they didn't do it, why they didn't do it. And we'll be using what we call ecological momentary assessments to assess the in-the-moment perceptions as to what stopped them or what facilitated them doing that behaviour change technique.
We're trying to contextualise that information as to, well, what is it that means that they haven't done it at that time point, and therefore can we then improve it going forwards to change the way the messages are delivered, for example, or how often they're actually delivered.
If we can identify the factors that do or do not enable someone to adhere to these behaviour change nudges, then perhaps we can come up with a more sustainable intervention further down the line which will really help workers' health.